Children of the night, what music they make.
They're all gonna laugh at you!
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
What's up?
I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm just gonna bash your brain.
I hope you all have been pre-gaming like I have, because tonight's on Final Guys, it's a special night. It's episode 250. Raise the
Amazing.
roof. Yeah. They said we'd never get past 5. Whoever they are, I don't know.
I think they was
That's
us.
true. I think they was us. But here we are, 250 episodes in. We are going to have a special guest, we hope, at some point tonight. Someone you might find familiar.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Not holding my breath.
Where's our names?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
our
I got rid
names
of them
aren't
from my
down
live
there.
stream. I'll put them back up.
Oh, I took great pains to come up with my name tonight. Because tonight, whenever we do a milestone episode, we always pick a crappy movie that we can, just dump on and maybe make fun of somebody who likes it. So tonight's movie is 2004's epic Van Helsing, Vanilla Phases. Jabba Caroni is here. Thank God. Ray Hughes. Who else is here? Who do we got? We got Tina here, Chad. I don't know
Ray
who
Hughes is in the house.
Ray Hughes in
Shoshana.
the house. Oh, Shoshana. And by the way, earlier, John Mooney. Wasn't that the guy from the Chappelle Show? Maybe.
Oh, what about
I
Mr.
think
Mooney
he's
from
dead.
the Lucy? Mr. Mooney from the Lucy Show.
Oh, we just dated ourselves right there. All right, here. So, we begin every show with a little bit of nonsense. This is going to be a lot of nonsense tonight, by the way, because I think we're all drinking. What are you guys drinking right now?
I got bourbon, and if I run
Neat.
out, I have this sampler pack I got with vials
What
of
is-
sample that I'll bust into.
Looks like you're going to take
Jesus.
Blaze serum later.
This is all bourbon. Is it? I
Wow.
got this like bourbon, like you know what does it is
Laurel Hightower.
um
And chocolates.
it's a company called Flavor or something like that, and like you give it as a gift, you get like a bottle and then a sampler. And,
Wow.
Nice.
So I finished my bottle. I got to go get a new one, and I was like, "Oh shit! What if I need more?" So I grabbed the sampler.
All right. I dig it.
I am drinking. Oh yeah, I forgot to do that. Patriarchy by Duclaw. It is an Irish cream dessert stout with a paltry 9.4%.
Wow,
9.4. Holy God.
dessert
Going
stout.
Deep. It's really good. They have
You
this
love,
whole
like, these
line of
sweet beers.
patriarchy beers, and I haven't had a bad one yet. Good.
Well,
shit.
I was in Massachusetts scouting my next book, and I picked up Bee Hoppy, which I thought of Jack because it's from Wormtown Brewery in Worcester, Massachusetts,
Worcester, home of the Woo
No.
Sox.
not Worcester, and it's the home of Polar Seltzer.
Polar Park is where the Woo Sox play.
Yeah, so it's good stuff. I think it's 6.7. So
Nice.
I don't know if the tall one would approve, but it is what it is.
So show the bottle, show the can again for a sec.
Yeah, it's a cool can.
Let me explain a little something to you. The smiley face was invented in Worcester, Massachusetts.
Go on.
I swear to God, if you look at the Worcester Red Sox, their logo has got
Yeah.
the smiley face. And if you read the history, whoever was the one who managed to get the credit for the most basic drawing ever, it's from Worcester, Massachusetts.
They weren't doing that shit in cave walls or anything?
right.
Yeah, there's some third grader in Worcester who invented the smiley face.
My nephew works for the Woo Sox, so I got the inside track.
Who knows?
That's
All
funny.
right. Well, that's awesome. We're all drinking some good stuff. All right. So here's the part where we go to. Oh no, I'm sorry. Jesus Christ, 250. Forgot already.
I'm on it tonight.
Jason, you want to read this? Go for it.
Absolutely. For those of you who are dumb enough to drink with us, along with these drinking words, here we go. Thank you, Sheridan. Jack, your words are crossbow, Kate, and vampire. Hunter, yours are saint, Beckinsale, and baby. If certain someone shows up, his words will be special, antidote, and plot. And my words are werewolf.
Oh,
Son of a bitch. He just had to put that in there to try to trip me up.
He did.
Writing and CG. And the bonus words are Jackman, Frankenstein, and Dracula.
Little teaser. I will have something to say about the crossbow later in this show.
Little teaser. I'll have a lot to say about Kate Beckinsale in this show.
And Josie Moran. Let's not forget Josie Moran.
She was the redhead, right?
She was the first bride to die.
Oh, she was the blonde.
Another thing that pissed me off about this movie.
Forgot about that was Josie Moran. Well, now she sells like makeup, right, or something like that.
Right. Thank God.
She's like a billionaire selling makeup.
Get my Josie. I think she was dating David Blaine too.
Oh, horrible! That's his greatest magic trick ever.
I'm kidding. Oh, David Copperfield. All these guys.
I got Josie Moran to take her clothes off. The greatest trick I've ever done.
Who was the one David Copperfield was dating?
Oh, yeah, a very famous supermodel.
Smoke show.
Like Claudia Schiffer?
Claudia Schiffer.
Yes.
Magicians, damn you.
No, magicians should be shunned. They should be locked in their
parents'
basement.
Who get no action all through like high school. But then if you manage to make it, then...
Well, he was in Terror Train or whatever that movie was. So he was living off of that. All right. I think we need some news, Jack.
Bring it.
It's the news. Yay.
Welcome to It's the News, yay?
It was cut off. You didn't even get a full yay.
I did.
I heard it.
I heard a half a yay.
Could be your shitty internet.
In my heart, I hear all our fans yaying me right now.
Oh,
thank you, fans.
They're high-fiving you for the crap you're about to deliver.
Thank you, my fans. The most electrifying personality in horror thanks you.
The most electrifying personality in the right-hand corner of your screen.
Okay, speaking of lovely ladies, Alexandra Daddario, a Final Guy's favorite, is going to be starring in an Anne Rice miniseries called Mayfair Witches on AMC.
Oh.
And the plot of this sounds like, you know, when you watch a TV show that has a TV show inside of it, like the people in the show are actors and they're in a supernatural show.
Yeah.
That's what the plot of this sounds like. So it's she's Rowan, a brilliant doctor who grapples with her fate as heir to the family of powerful witches.
Well, you know this isn't real because women can't be doctors. So go on with this fiction.
The series will focus on an intuitive young neurosurgeon who discovers that she is the unlikely heir to a family of witches. She grapples with her newfound powers. She must contend with a sinister presence that has haunted her family for generations. So it's like
Charmed,
and Bewitched.
That sounds really lame.
Yeah. And guess what? I'm going to watch every episode.
No, why is that?
Because
I can't imagine why.
2 reasons.
8 episodes of Mayfair Witches will premiere. Yes. 8 episodes of Mayfair Witches will premiere later this year. We don't even have to wait that long.
Oh, good. I hope, Jack, you and I can live this long.
Hi ho.
To you and I.
Hi ho, Daddario.
I really will watch that.
I really think I'm going to be breaking into these beakers later.
And Tina Edwards says the Mayfair witch books are batshit insane. All right. There we go.
Oh, good.
Okay.
So,
that helps a little bit. I've never read Anne Rice, but you kind of lost me there.
I read 4 of the vampire. I read up to Tales of the Body Thief, and then I had enough.
I read a couple of those. I read her Jesus books because she was telling the story of Jesus. It was really,
was
yeah,
a
it was
vampire.
incredible stuff.
He was a vampire. It was called Midnight Mass. Okay. Do you think we need more Scream movies?
Oh yes,
I
absolutely.
didn't think we needed any after part 1.
Well, good news is Scream
Or
6 is
bad.
going to. Scream 6 will be slashing into theaters on March 31st of 2023. Just a tad over a year from right now.
Oh,
We could be going to the movie theater together to see Scream
What?
6.
the 3 of us? I don't think so.
So 1 year to write, shoot, edit, and release. Usually the hallmark of quality.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Courtney Cox is going to be in it. I know you were worried.
I say we all meet in Delaware and go to the theater to see this. Let's do it.
I still
let's-
haven't seen the newest one. I need to get to it, but
No, I'm not gonna.
I just have not been that interested. Even though Radio Silence is behind it,
I'll never watch it. I'm not a Scream person, so I don't care.
Scream one. That's it.
Then let's get on to the last piece of news.
Already? Oh, this just flew by.
Ben Stiller,
Uh-huh.
son of Jerry Stiller,
Captain Horror.
Nobody makes me bleed my own blood.
is in talks to star in a stage adaptation of The Shining that would be done in London.
I saw this yesterday and I thought it was fake. I thought it was Russian fake news to get me to click on it, so I didn't.
The West End is the name of the production company, I guess, that does this. And they're looking to do performances next January and then possibly move it to Broadway, which, how great would that be if Ben Stiller's on Broadway doing The Shining? I'd definitely go to that.
I hope it's a musical. Wendy, can't you hear me typing?
All work and no play.
That would be the equivalent of the Planet of the Apes on Broadway from The Simpsons.
Bat, give me the bat. Bat,
Oh,
Wendy, give me the
Jesus.
bat.
We
Ben
could write
Stiller.
this right now.
What do you think of Ben Stiller as Jack Torrance?
I think I don't give a fuck.
I'm not excited by this concept. He might be able to pull it off.
I like Ben Stiller. A play in London starring Ben Stiller for The
But
Shining.
it could get here.
Oh, sweet.
If you had the chance to go see this play, would you go?
No, I'm sorry. If someone gave me money or gave me like tickets or something, I would. I'm not going to pay. It's a lot of money to go see a play. So no,
I would pay to see this. I wouldn't pay, ridiculous amount of money, but I'd pay. I listen, depending on the reviews, but I would love to see a stage production of The Shining.
Did you ever see him in The Heartbreak Kid?
Yes.
No.
Oh my God. That movie. I love that movie. Cock me.
The Heartbreak
I am
Kid. The
cocking you.
Heartbreak Kid to me is Shawn Michaels from WWE.
No, you have to watch The Heartbreak Kid with Ben Stiller.
I've seen it.
I love that movie. It's so wrong. It's a Farrelly Brothers movie.
All right. Well, that's all I got. That's all the news that's fit to print.
And maybe it's not fit to print, but whatever. Now, before we get into Van Helsing, we're going to talk about the things Jason didn't watch and the things Jack and I maybe watched probably weeks ago. We don't remember, but we'll do our best to recall it.
We have such sights to show you.
Look at that timing.
Oh,
Hey!
look at this.
Howdy.
Oh,
Oh, you're here. I don't know how to handle this.
I
We all
I
have
don't
to
know how to
drink.
handle this either.
We
This
all
is
have to
weird.
drink. Tim showed up.
Tim's here. Drink.
I made it.
Nice shirt, by the
We
way.
have not had Tim on here since January 4th. I looked
Yeah.
at the calendar.
Really?
It's been a while.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, Tim.
Life.
Do you have a tall man shirt on right now?
I do, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Very nice.
Tim, we are so happy to have you here.
I am not prepared for this, by the way.
What
I
else
never
is-
thought I'd miss you, but I actually do.
Oh, well, I miss you guys too.
That was an awesome backhanded compliment.
It was straight-handed.
I like
Whatever.
it. I accept.
I'm only
We're gonna-
sorry that you missed the award-winning news segment, which I know you love so much.
I know. I was very upset.
So I'm gonna ease you in. You're not gonna go first.
Thank God.
Yeah, you're not going first. I want you to collect yourself. By the way, are you drinking anything tonight?
Yeah. I've been going on a beer diet for the last month. So this is the first beer I've had in a month, and it's a Blue Moon.
A Blue Moon.
Good stuff.
Blue Moon.
What the hell?
It's a 24 ouncer. That's it. That's all you're
Blue
getting
Moon.
out of me.
Blue Moon is good stuff.
I love Blue Moon.
Yeah. But
Also, a
Tim-
song in American Royal from London.
Yes, but Tim drinks good stuff. Like I was expecting some hazy, juicy, fruity quadruple
Yeah.
IPA.
Yeah, I'm over here with an Irish cream dessert stout, and you come in with a Blue Moon. I did not
Listen.
expect that.
Listen, I'm on a beer diet. This is the only beer that I'll break a beer diet for. So
You
Listen,
just
man,
smoking weed.
Blue
I
Moon is
understand.
better. Blue Moon's better than the usual IPA crap you drink. So I'm proud of you.
oh,
Yeah.
well, thanks.
Jack doesn't understand IPAs.
I understand it perfectly.
But you know what? You're drinking your whiskey, so it's all good. All right. So let's start. Jason, you said you haven't been. Jason's been very busy with So Bad It's Good, by the way. So we cross promote
have.
and we want you to watch it. He doesn't cross promote, but that's okay. Watch So Bad It's Good when you're done with Final Guys. Maybe you could fucking mention Final Guys once in SBIG.
I do in the live streams.
No, in the live streams that nobody watches. But you know,
All right. I'll mention it before a show. I will totally
How
not
about
remember to do
why
that.
don't we cut an ad and you could put the ad in one day?
Mm.
Wouldn't you like to make money off of 2 shows?
I would. This show's been costing me money for 5 years, so that would be nice.
Yes, but it's giving you love.
That's debatable.
Love from all of us. All right.
I like
what-
how Jason's bitching that we watched a bad movie. And I'm like, aren't you? Isn't this like your craft? Isn't this like what
exactly.
you bring?
No. Not this.
Let's see how your game is
Yeah.
tonight, Mister.
Hit
So
it.
bad it's good.
Can you do this without your partners?
You do
No.
cue cards.
Let's get Dave on here right now. Let's get
Yeah,
Brian.
He does liven everything up.
Yeah. Even when you're live with him, he makes it ultra live.
Okay.
all right. I lost track. Whose turn is it?
It's Jason's. It's Van Hell shit.
All right. I watched the new Candyman movie. This is the only movie I got in this week. This is kind of a frustrating movie for me because it looks really good and the acting is really good. And I kind of like with advancing the canon. Now, I've only ever seen the first Candyman. I've never seen any of the sequels. I'm not a huge fan of the original Candyman. I think it's fine. I'll probably never watch it again because it just doesn't do it for me. So I was hoping this would, I don't know, move it forward a lot. And man, for every good part, there's a part where I'm like, Jesus, like what? Like wow, oh, just
Spoilers!
straight into spoilers. The first shot,
all over the place.
Jesus Christ.
Can't trust IMDb.
Writing is not good. The writing really kind of failed this one. The ending failed this one for sure. It just kind of ends. I was expecting like this build up to and it just kind of peters out. And the woke shit is really strong in the first half in particular. It kind of goes away later on. But I mean, if you take a shot every time you hear the phrase white people, you are going to be hammered by the end of this movie.
Oh shit. We should do
Yeah.
a live stream.
And it also had a case, and this is the writing. It had a case of tell, don't show. So it was talking about like, the evils of gentrification and the stuff in the art world, but it never really shows the problem. So like it really could have used some of that. A lot of the exposition and a lot of it's just them talking about problems. They're just sitting in an apartment talking about these issues, not showing me why these are issues. So as good as the movie looked, some creative kills too. I really
Some
don't
of
know
those
how to feel about this one.
A lot of those kills are off camera, or they don't.
Yeah, they do a lot with mirrors. I always appreciate mirror work in a movie. But yeah, the gore really did not ramp the way I wanted it to. There's a lot
I
of
heard
like
you
blood hitting the
appreciate mirror
floor.
work in like a Poconos hotel too.
Mm.
I could be wrong, but that's what I heard.
So this one was frustrating because it was like, oh, that's cool. Oh, here we go. Now we have more people sitting around an apartment bitching about gentrification or,
I didn't have
police issues.
that big a problem with the subject matter, because the first Candyman's all about that stuff, but there were definitely heavy-handed moments. I thought it was okay. I talked about this a while back, but the ending and what they tried to kind of, when they went to reinvent some things towards the end, that's where I
Did
was
not.
like, oh wait, what?
Yeah. Yeah, the social issues, I mean, that's always been Candyman for sure. And, I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, the first Candyman did this, because I don't really care for it all that much.
Me either.
But I wanted this to take a step forward from that one. And to me, it feels kind of level with the first one. I don't really care to go back and watch either
that's not
one.
good.
I don't hate them. it's not something that's going to go into the rotation.
By the way, while you were talking, my daughter brought up a special cake. Well, only I can eat it, but it says $2.50 on it.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
So there we go.
That's really nice.
I don't know what kind it is. Oh, red velvet.
Damn, that's
Fork.
pretty cool.
I'm gonna
So you're just going to
fork-
start eating?
I'm gonna fork this cake good. But I'm the same way. I tried to get my daughter. I took her to the Alamo to see the original Candyman. It was part of a triple feature, and it was the movie she liked the least. I don't know. It's just not.
What were the
our
other two
DNA.
movies though?
I think Humanoids from the Deep and the vampire. What's that lesbian vampire movie? Jack.
Which one?
Yeah, I know. It was one of those. The Vampire Lovers.
Oh, with Ingrid Pitt. Yeah, that's the one you
Ingrid Pitt.
saw. I
Yeah,
remember.
she loved that movie. To the point where
Yeah, I don't know what it
it
is about Candyman. It just doesn't click with me.
I like
Now,
Candyman.
It's from
It's
the
all right.
90s, of course.
Did you see the new one?
Yeah, I did. I
Loved it.
I have a lot of the same issues that you guys had with like the writing and like the telling, not
Yeah.
showing portions. They did some cool stuff, even though it was like telling. They did some cool stuff with like the I don't know, it was like animation, like
Yeah,
kind
that
of
was
like
really cool.
stop animation. I really enjoyed that. I liked the social issue stuff. I liked a lot of it, but I don't know. At the end of it, I was just kind of like, it was okay. I don't know if I'll watch it again, but it was. I think I rented it for like $7 or whatever, and I don't feel like I wasted my money. So
Jack will agree with me. I guarantee that we need a version of Candy Girl. Oh my love. We need some new edition Candy Girl.
we
I
need a
can think of
Candy
the
Land
The
horror
Kevin
movie.
Smith movie when Salma Hayek's dancing to that.
Rosario Dawson to ABC.
No, it's Candy Girl with us.
Oh.
Hayek and
You're thinking of Dogma.
Dogma,
Yes.
and they're going.
As we all would. All right. Candyman remake. Now we move on to Jack.
It's not shit. It's just
I liked it.
Look at Chad Lutsky commenting on other people's looks.
Can't even get his microphone to work. Whatever. Sure.
Did you say it was my turn?
It's your while I eat cake, it's your turn.
Let them eat cake. All right. I went to the fringes of the horror genre into the world of erotic thrillers because on Hulu, a movie with Ben Affleck and Ana de Armas called Deep Water landed this week, and this movie has been delayed forever. So I was like, oh, I'm going to watch this. It's directed by the guy, what's his name? Adrian Lynn, who did Unfaithful, Indecent Proposal, Jacob's Ladder, Fatal Attraction, and 9.5 Weeks. So it's like,
wow.
okay, this guy's got the erotic thriller 90s 2000 thing.
Or he
going.
did 40
Maybe
years
don't want to
ago.
be in a relationship with that guy.
Right.
Yeah, really. Or raid his refrigerator.
And I guess Ben Affleck and Ana de Armas were either dating when they made this, or this is what led to them dating. And Ana de Armas is nothing to sneeze at. She's a fine young lady.
A great actor.
I don't think you could have made that any creepier if you wanted to.
Did you see the new James Bond movie?
Yes.
She's
No.
the best
She's
part of that
awesome
movie,
in it.
and she's in it for like 10 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah. She needed to be the Bond girl in that. She was amazing.
Yeah, she was awesome. This movie is about a couple, the two I mentioned already. And the husband allows the wife to have affairs to a certain extent.
That never works.
Jesus. All
Because they don't want to get a divorce. They have a kid. But then
she looks like she's his kid in this picture.
I know. By the way, this sounds like the Clinton arrangement.
But
Go
then
ahead.
several of her lovers disappear, and he is the suspect for it. And
All
what kind of
She
unfold?
could be his child. Good Lord. All right.
And that's Bunchy from Ray Donovan right there.
Ray Donovan.
And Get Out. What's his name?
That's right.
Lil Ray. Yeah, Lil Ray.
So anybody who had cable TV in the 90s and 2000s, you've seen 1,000 of this movie done sexier and thrillier.
A random episode of Silk Stockings on TBS.
Yeah, like this movie should have been Shannon Tweed and Andrew, what's his name?
Oh, the Hardy Boy?
No, the other guy. But yeah, he could have Parker Stevenson.
Parker Stevenson, yeah.
I can't remember. Andrew something or other was always in all those. Or anyway, I've just found Hulu and Netflix are full of these movies that are generic enough that they're digestible to a crowd of people, that like you're watching it with a few older people and a few younger people. You don't want anything that's going to make you think too much or be too controversial. It gets you through the night. You watch it. That was okay. Talk about it with somebody at work the next day, and then you move on to the next new release when it comes. It's not going to, have its place in history like some of the other movies I mentioned that this director did. But it's a decent watch. The ending has got some laughable things in it in the climax. So,
How is Ben Affleck going to keep J-Lo covered in diamonds doing crap like that?
he probably got paid a big dump truck full of money by Hulu.
You think?
Hulu's owned by Disney,
But not
Dude,
like Adam Sandler in his prime.
I'd be willing to bet
money.
Batman. He's got Batman money forever now.
That's
Yeah.
sad. So sad.
So, yeah.
By the way, I was just going to call on Tim. He turns off his camera. All right, I'll go.
Dude, the comments about Jack's image quality are killing me.
What the hell? It hasn't changed in 5
I know it's been like
years.
this all the time.
I don't know.
250 is making a
This shit
difference.
is so funny.
Wants to step up the game. All right, I'm.
It's all my yellow lights I have here.
Exactly. He's in urine vision.
I could get
what am I
this
doing?
thing.
All right, I know what I'm going to do.
Want me to put
I-
this on?
I got mine on to the side today. I'm going to talk about a. So I don't know if Jason has this loaded up. It's
I
a
will.
docu-series on Showtime called UFO. So I don't know if you. I know I had this on this week's spreadsheet. A little
I
behind.
did,
the
but I didn't
scenes.
get everything pulled up in time, so I
Yeah.
will find it.
So, we did the Showtime thing real quick to watch Yellow Jackets. So I said, all right, something about UFOs, I'm in. It's done by, what's his face from Bad Robot?
J.J. Abrams.
J.J. Abrams. And it's a 4-part documentary. They're about an hour each, and just exploring all the stuff that's gone on in the UFO world in the last, mostly since 2017, when the New York Times did that article on the acknowledging. Look at Jack. Jack looks like he's going to tell a scary story.
I'm changing the shading.
Was this it?
That's it.
Okay.
This is probably top 5 of UFO documentaries if you really want to dive into this bizarre world. I had tweeted recently, I said I would love to do nothing but like investigate UFOs for the rest of my life, but I fear going completely insane. And You could see like the deeper you dig into these things, the more the stranger it gets, the more you'd lose your effing mind.
When would you do this? Would it be after the documentary about
Mops?
Peep Show?
After I'm
mopping or
done
whatever?
with Peep Show mops, which I'm still working on. This is 25 years in the making. When I'm done with that, I'm going just into UFOs. I did like the fact that they were presenting like all the new stuff that's coming out, and giving counter opinions to it. Because my whole thing, I mean, Jack, you and I talked to Ryan Sprague, and my whole thing is like, well, if you think the government's just nothing but effing liars, why all of a sudden when they say acknowledge something, do you believe it? So it's probably just more disinformation. So it was cool. You're kind of getting both sides of the story, but they were showing like video footage that I've never seen before, which it takes. Oh God, I don't want to get into what Steve said.
Well, I'll tell you what. Right, kind of the right dimensions.
Jack's ring. The right dimensions.
Might be a little tight, but yeah.
Like hot dogs down a hallway.
In
So
the year 2000.
if you're a UFO enthusiast like me, you're going to love this. And I would tell you, if you watch this, I want you to go back and read some of John Keel's stuff on UFOs that he was writing in the 60s and 70s. And I think he nailed the whole phenomenon 50 years ago. And we're still trying to catch up to him. But it's excellent. It's really a good watch.
You said Showtime?
Showtime. Yep.
I haven't watched any good alien stuff in, it feels like years at this point.
Yeah, he was really good. Oh, Tina brought up Tom DeLonge. I think that guy's a fucking stooge. But whatever.
He's trying to make money.
This is a guy who says, I'm going to quit my music career and I'm going to expose the truth. And then when he supposedly sees the truth that he couldn't sleep for 3 days afterwards, he refuses to tell anybody what it is. So go form another garage band and get the fuck out of the whole thing, please.
Yeah.
I challenge Tom DeLonge and Glenn Danzig to a fucking brawl. Right now, I'm laying it down. He's on my list too. Tom, you want to fight me? We'll fight outside my house.
I'd pay money for that.
I would pray for a double KO.
I got your back. Come on. Put him up.
I don't need help. You're going to be my cut man, and I'm going to come back. I'm not even going to have any cuts. No blood.
Hit the one in the middle, Hunter.
I can't hit him, Jack. I can't see him, Jack. All right. Tim, after you conveniently disappeared when it was your turn.
Oh, did I? I'm sorry. Things are happening.
You only did like 100 episodes with us, but that's okay. It's all right.
That's
to
all
forget.
right. It's all good. So I watched a movie that I think you guys did a main feature on. One of the 3 movies I've watched in the last like 3 months. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the new one on Netflix.
Oh yeah.
Hey,
I'm
if
really
you ever
curious
watched
to
the
hear what
show,
you
we
think of
did a whole
this.
episode on it.
He just said that, you dipshit.
I just said that.
What?
Literally.
Like in the same sentence.
In the same
I was
sentence.
too busy. I had circus music. In
Jason Brandt is chastising you for not listening to something somebody else said on.
Isn't that the most ridiculous thing ever?
That's how bad it is.
I'm drinking for that one.
That's ridiculous.
Not only that, I'm opening up a beaker.
Open up a sample. Time for
Anyway.
a sample.
That's actually just because I'm empty, not because of that.
All right, Tim. Sorry.
It's
I'm
okay.
listening. I got to read.
Things
what
have
he's
gotten
doing.
weird since you left.
I see that.
Tim, are you
I
still
don't know.
talking
I don't-
about Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
Yeah, I don't really have a whole lot to say that you guys probably didn't say already. So I'm just
I
going to
think
say
you're
that I enjoyed this movie a lot. I had
Mm.
some issues with it, but man, this was just fun to watch. Like, it was so brutal. That bus scene alone was worth every minute of
That was great.
yeah.
Price of admission right there.
Oh my god, just so brutal. And I don't know, it was just fun. I'm not like I'm kind of like I go back and forth with the whole requel like
Yeah.
movies where it's like you bring back, legacy characters and
The 79-year-old killer.
yeah, and kind of fit them in. I
Stronger
felt
than
like
ever.
I felt like they could have taken that whole part out and it might have been a better movie maybe, or a tighter movie, or a movie that I don't know, made a little bit more sense. I don't know, but she does have her purpose in there towards the end with the other main character. But I don't know. I really enjoyed this movie. I thought it was really cool, and I'm glad they made it, and I'm glad I watched it, and I kind of wanted to know what you guys thought of it. Real quick.
Did you miss like the crazy family? That was, to me, that was the only thing that was missing.
Yeah, that is true. Like, I mean, that's. I think we've had this conversation before, where like Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 is, I think, is like my favorite one, and like that's just like the other characters in that make that movie.
So wait, you didn't listen to or watch the episode we did about this?
I didn't. I'm sorry.
Leave him alone.
I haven't watched any of the episodes that I haven't been.
Don't scare him off like a deer.
Just hurt.
Run away.
Shit.
Can I get a close up real quick there, Jason?
Oh boy, horror card.
Get ready for aura.
Oh.
For, the
I just want to pour my beaker. That's all. You
And
can take it up.
what
now.
is,
Cheers.
what is that called? That you're
It's called
drinking
A.
right A. Is the other? Are the others B and C?
I'll look it up. I'll look it up while you're talking.
A.
There's little cards.
Oh,
Jason, you're muted, by the way. I don't know if you know that.
I didn't. God damn it.
fucking idiot.
We all thought the same thing you did. It was fun. It was stupid as shit, but it was a lot of fun, and enjoyed it.
Might have been
The magic
bloody.
chainsaw that just starts up after 40 years and cuts through metal, and
Locked in a wall.
Do you think it was the same chainsaw though?
I think
I-
so.
I think that was the idea.
Yeah, that was the way I took it.
Gasoline didn't evaporate and all that time.
Yeah, wouldn't it gum up the intake?
It might.
Yeah, he was remarkably spry too. You know, for just getting out of the home right before the movie
They
started.
Michael Myered him in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was definitely
Crazy.
supernatural.
Yeah, it was cool.
But-
I don't know. I liked it. And then I liked the end. I don't want to get into this. I don't know. Can we spoil it?
It doesn't matter.
I thought the ending was cool too. Well, if you haven't seen it, just
The
you know,
very end, you mean? Like the last?
Yeah, like the last shot. You guys will know.
It
what
was
I mean.
awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought that was cool. So I mean, maybe we can have more of these movies, and then maybe there will be a family involved.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Just keep killing social justice warriors. Awesome.
He did go to town on the City
sure did.
Slickers.
Oh man, it was crazy.
This is Koval. It's called.
Koval
It's
is
good.
A.
It's got hints of caramel, apricot, or apricot, tobacco, hunter, mango, dried fruit, spicy, charred. Those are all the little
Do
flavor
you
cards.
detect any of those things in your
It's gently sweet. I'm going to try it.
dulled palate? Let's see what Jack says.
Oh my god, this is really good.
Oh, A's gonna be done soon. Get ready for B.
I'm going to buy a bottle of this.
What was
That's
in
the
it?
idea.
Is it nicotine or?
Those are the flavor,
Tobacco.
the
Tobacco.
flavor profiles: apricot, caramel, tobacco, mango, vanilla faces,
Vanilla faces.
spicy, dried fruit, charred. It's a real sweet. It's a sweet bourbon, like me.
Hmm. Oh, Josh, my son's drinking Allagash White tonight. Nice.
Okay. I did not watch another movie, but I started a podcast called Video Palace. You guys heard of this?
Yo, I love this so
I
much.
thought you created another podcast. Let's go. What? You out of
No,
your
I'm-
mind?
Dude, this is like I feel like everybody needs to listen to this podcast. It's so good.
It's a
It's
Shudder
so
thing?
good. What's that?
It's a Shutter. Can you only listen to it on Shutter, or can you download it?
No, you can listen to other places, but I think it was exclusive to Shutter when it came out.
Yeah, you can get it on Spotify or like wherever you get podcasts.
Yeah, I got it. In
Okay.
Google
I'm looking it up
Podcasts.
on Pocket Casts now. I'll tell
It's
you.
this is really good. How many episodes is it? 10? I'm not
think
even
it's like-
sure.
Yeah, I think it's 8 or 10, somewhere around there.
I'm only halfway through it, and that's why I'm already recommending it. It is so well done,
Ooh.
and it's got this cool mystery going on about these white videotapes, and just this kind of is this a thing? Is there lore to this?
No, I don't think so. I think they made it all up for the show.
Oh, okay. And just a guy gets sent a white VHS tape, and once he watches it, he starts talking in his sleep, and it kind of freaks he and his girlfriend or wife, I don't remember out, and he decides to start documenting his pursuit of where this tape came from, and he just
There's a
goes
lot of
down
stuff
this.
going on with videotapes lately. Have you noticed that?
I mean, we're in the retro era right now, so
Yeah.
Yep.
but Excellent podcast. Each episode's maybe 20 minutes, 20 to 25 minutes.
I
Bing,
just
bang, boom.
subscribed.
It's great. I think it's only one season, so I don't know how it ends yet, but really good storytelling. It's like an audio drama kind of thing. It's great.
I'm trying to download it as we speak.
And super creepy too.
The sound design is excellent. So definitely check it out.
All right. Well, yeah, for a podcast, it better be good. Unlike ours.
Ray, see you later.
See you, Ray.
Oh, so long, Ray. By the way, Ray, we were talking about you before the show. So if you listen to this later, if any of us was living in the UK, we would never show up to this show. So
No
that's
chance.
awesome. Awesome. Steve Barnard, time for a Ring remake. Shut up.
Wait,
I
the
know
Ring?
Little Brown Ring. That's what he said. There you go. Jack's Ring. Jack's C Ring. All right. You're up there, Eddie Van Helsing.
I watched Dune, the new one.
Oh, in the theater?
No, I didn't watch it this week, but I had it on my list to talk about. A couple of weeks ago, when there was like an ice storm, I worked from home, and in the afternoon, I was sitting there with my laptop, and I was like, this feels like a good opportunity to turn on Dune in the background and knock out a 2.5 hour movie.
So you were working through the storm.
Working through the.
Yeah,
Listen,
there you go.
all the clients also were out because of the snow day. It was a nice, quiet day. So I saw the original Dune like once and probably fell asleep during it, and then never read the books. Great cast. Since you just mentioned that,
That's amazing.
Timothy Chalamet, Rebecca Ferguson, Oscar Isaac, Josh Brolin,
Javier Bardem,
Bautista's, Zendaya, Jason Momoa, Javier Bardem,
Charlotte
Stellan
Rampling.
Skarsgård.
Jesus.
So there's a lot of firepower in this movie.
Yeah.
It was better than I expected, because I expected it to be kind of boring, just based on my, 25-year-old memory of the original.
Yeah. I read 5 Dune books in the 80s, and I can't recall a single effing thing from them.
I would like to know what somebody, because as a person who loves Lord of the Rings, I had a lot of thoughts on those movies, and I was so happy to see it done well. So I'm wondering, do book readers like this? They only, this is part 1, so there's going to be a part 2. I thought it was well done. It was interesting. The only thing is, I think because it's a part 1, the first half of this movie is much more exciting than the second half. And the climax of this is not the biggest climax of the whole world. So I thought, but then I'm thinking it's a, it's kind of the end of a chapter. It's not the end of the thing. So we'll see. I'm not exactly dying to see the next chapter in this, but I was impressed with it. I was entertained. So I'm going to give it a thumbs up.
Are they doing a sequel? Did it make enough money?
Yeah. At the end of it, they say part 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it. It's a sequel for sure.
Zendaya, spoiler alert, is in it for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Oh, you saw this, Tim? Did you like it?
I did like it, actually. I've only read the first book, and I read it pretty recently, a couple of years back, and I thought they did a really good job of it, because the first book, I don't want to say it's boring, but it's very heavy into like a political drama mixed with like a sci-fi fantasy aspect to it. So like they did a really good job making the political stuff, like condensing it down and making it easy to understand. Like my wife watched it too, and she never heard of Dune before ever, and she was able to digest everything pretty easily as well. So
special effects are amazing.
Oh my god.
Yeah, the effects
I
are
watch
great.
this though. I really want to
It's
watch
good.
this.
I do too.
Good.
I like the director, Dennis Villeneuve.
Yeah.
Villeneuve. I think his visual style is just kind
Great.
of unmatched right now.
Great
One
stuff.
thing is, I watched the video afterwards about this, and you're going to notice a lot of similarities to another space opera known as Star Wars.
Really?
And I guess Dune was written way before Star Wars.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
So I didn't realize Star Wars borrows a lot from Dune.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's a whole thing that's kind of like the Force.
To the victor goes
Oh.
the spoils. That's how it
I'm really
works.
looking forward to watch this. Is it on HBO now?
Yeah.
Yeah, it should be on HBO Max.
Oh, all right, I'll watch
Re-up
that.
my HBO, damn it.
So
Thank
yeah,
God one of
good
my
stuff.
daughters dates a guy with HBO Max.
Good thing.
Exactly. This is why you have kids. So you can get stuff. All right.
I'll barter a Showtime password for an HBO password.
I would gladly pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today. All right. I'm gonna go with let's see. What was on my list? Oh, The Green Knight. I finally watched The Green Knight.
I wanted to see this.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is when I
Good
was sick.
stuff.
I'm like, I got nothing but time. This movie it's an A24. The Green Knight, I think, is a poem from hundreds and hundreds of years ago. So it's the King Arthur story, but they never call the king Arthur. But he's got a round table and he's there with his wife, his queen. They're very old and they're past their prime at this point. But Dev Patel from the Naked Brothers band and Hereditary and a bunch of other things. He's playing. Now I'm going to say it like Americans, Gawain. I know they said it differently in the movie, whatever. But in this movie, he's kind of like he's like a party hound. He's a definite party pussy hound, having a good old time. But he's King Arthur's nephew, and they're celebrating at one point. And this kind of like the guy looks like Groot comes in on a and throws down a challenge.
Cosplay Groot.
Yeah, and he basically says, if you can best me in battle right now, then 1 year time I will do to you what you did to me.
And it's the father from The Witch.
Oh, that's who that was.
With
Who
that
played
voice.
That? Oh my God! All right, that makes sense. So Gawain has been drinking and everything, but Arthur let him sit next to him for the first time ever at this event, and he's feeling himself. So he battles this Groot guy and cuts his head off. And then fast forward to a year later where he has to go on this quest to find Groot and then battle him and then have done to him what he did to Groot. This is balls tripping crazy stuff. Now, I love King Arthur lore. My favorite movie, one of my favorites, has always been Excalibur. Bernard Cornwell wrote a series of books about King Arthur, which are probably the best I've ever read. So there was a period in my life where I was just all about King Arthur. And I think this captured just the sheer nuttiness of the original tales of King Arthur. It's beautiful to watch. It's utterly stunning to see. I think normal people might drop out after a while. They think it's too weird for them, but I'd say stick with it. It's a great movie, man. It's not horror.
So you're saying I'm gonna love it?
Oh, you're gonna love it.
It's definitely weird, but it's one of those ones that I kept thinking about and then going back and watching videos and reading about, because I was like, wait, what's the original story?
Yeah.
What was the director's intent? It was a fun one to research.
If you are a fan of the anime show Attack on Titan, there's a scene in this you'll love where like he comes up against these naked giants. So, and by the way, watch Attack on Titan. It's one of the best anime shows out there.
Isn't the girl in this the one from Ex Machina?
Yes.
Yes.
Alicia. I don't know how to say her now.
Something.
Vikander.
Vikander. Yeah.
Tomb Raider. She was Tomb Raider.
Yeah, she was Lara Croft.
Yeah, I've heard such mixed things about this movie. Some people really dig it, and some people have just been bored or weirded out or something.
Weird stuff.
If you have any interest in like the King Arthur mythology and really like dreamlike sequences and weird stuff.
Oh God, Tim, keep it in your pants.
I just got a boner.
Yeah, dude, you're gonna love this movie. So
nice.
Check it out. I love it. All right, Tim.
Oh, all right. Sticking with the whole requel. Sticking with the whole requel thing. I watched the new Scream. Scream
5.
2022 or 5, whatever you want to call it. I don't even know. What are they calling it? I think they're just calling
it Scream.
which is
Scream.
I don't like that. I don't like the whole. Give
hate
it
it.
another name. Give it another name, or just label it 5. I don't know. I really enjoyed this a lot. Have you guys watched it yet?
I saw it.
Never
haven't.
will.
Dude, I
I'll go
loved
to my
it.
grave not having seen this.
Every second of this movie.
Really?
Yeah, they did a really good job. I thought, bringing back old characters, the writing I thought was crisp, and I think like it's just a classic Scream movie where they kind of comment on the state of horror films today, and it's so meta that it's just a pleasure to watch. So
Oh,
I
Jenna
really enjoyed it.
Ortega's in this movie?
Yeah,
And Jack
she's-
Quaid. By the way, Jack Quaid, I met at a taco bar one day.
Oh yeah.
I was sitting at the bar at this like high-end taco joint. Like it's got to be maybe 2 years ago, maybe a year ago. And I was just at the bar having a drink, and he was sitting right next to me, and I didn't realize who he was for like 20 minutes. Then I bought him a drink. Why
That's
I bought
awesome.
him a drink, I don't know.
Have you seen The Boys?
I love The Boys.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah.
It was
That's-
just like seeing him outside of The Boys. It didn't
Yeah.
register. So I said to the bartender, "Is that guy famous?" He goes, "Yes, the guy from The Boys." I'm like, "Oh, buy him a drink for me."
That's awesome. Yeah, he seems like he'd be a cool guy to hang out with. He was great in this movie.
He was super nice.
Yeah, Tim, I'm not a huge Scream fan. I only saw like the first and second one. And when I watched this, I thought it was okay. I thought it's a Scream movie. It did all the things I remembered from Scream movies. I thought the exposition during the climax of the movie was a little heavy-handed. Everybody was explaining the master plan as they were chasing each other around.
That's every Scream movie, though.
Yeah,
So it's not. I thought it was fine as far as like sequels and reboots, whatever. There's a lot worse out there. So for me, it was like a good rental. But like I'm not it didn't like pull me back into like I love Scream now. It's like man, that was all right. But better than I thought it was gonna be.
That's fair. I love the Scream franchise, so for me, I got like a big kick at it.
Well, you would because you came of age when those
Yeah.
movies were out.
Oh yeah.
That's why.
Yep.
I love the first one. Like I unabashedly love the first one, but the sequels just never clicked for me.
Jack, how much better are we that we came of age during like Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street and Halloween? Oh,
You rule.
We
You
got-
I mean, I
understand-
don't know if you're better, but that is pretty.
well, no,
cool.
we're better. Absolutely.
Oh yeah, because we had the foundation of the
For sure.
of Hammer and Universal, and then the
Yeah.
awesome 70s.
Your house is built on swampland. Our
Listen,
foundation's solid.
we had
We're
like
the
Leprechaun
smart little
3
pig.
and like American Werewolf in Paris and like all these fantastic
really.
movies.
Van
Son of a
Helsing.
bitch. You son of a bitch. Oh. All right. Are we all done now with our crap?
Let's be done.
I'm
Because
tapped.
we need to get here to Van Helsing because I'm so glad Tim is here. And I'm so hoping he likes this more than we do, but I don't know. I don't know. So hold on to your hats. And by the way, everyone start drinking heavily now because we're diving right into Van Helsing.
You like scary movies?
Uh-huh.
What's your favorite scary movie?
I don't know.
You have to have a favorite. What comes to mind?
I hope everyone's as drunk as I am. So,
Unfortunately, not.
well, no, you're only having the one. Jack is pounding whiskey, so I'm digging it.
But the thing is, I have the tolerance of a god. So I mean,
Yeah, that's true.
It'll
We
take
can
a
teach
while.
these whippersnappers a lot. All right. So, because it's episode 250, we felt we need to dig deep into, like, the fucking latrine and pull out some movie that was a lot of high expectation, high budget, and low delivery.
But there's also a story that accompanies this, right? Like a Final Guy story.
Do you want to tell the story?
I mean, it's a short story. I said that I did not like this movie at all, and I said it was, I think, quote, the worst movie I've ever seen in my entire life. And you guys, your minds were blown
Which is not
that
possible.
I actually hated a movie,
Yeah.
and nobody had seen this movie. I think since it came out in theaters
Since
in
it
like
came out.
2000, what was it, 3 or 4 or whatever.
2004.
And we're like, it can't be that bad, can it? And then that kind of spawned a conversation, and then we decided to do this for 250. So
Little background on this. This movie came out on my birthday in 2004, and this was my wife was going to take me to see this for my birthday, and we got in such a fight that I got in my car and left, and she went with my best friend.
that's perfect.
Oh, that's sweet revenge.
That's perfect.
And then she took me later, like a week later or whatever, when we had calmed down, and
Wait, so she saw it twice?
she saw it twice.
Why?
And now
Thing-
she's seen it 3 times because she sat with me to watch it this time.
The things she does for love.
Oh, this is so. I'm not even gonna. This doesn't deserve a synopsis. It's just, it's two
Van
very
Helsing.
beautiful people. Hugh Jackman. I almost said Hugh Jackson. And Kate Beckinsale. I'm not getting that wrong. Team up to fight Universal monsters.
I think you're doing a disservice here, not trying to explain this dumb ass story.
We don't have this kind of time.
You also said they were beautiful people, which I agree with, but they're
They
also
were.
like super talented actors. Like they're really good actors, both of them.
We didn't think so at the
Yes.
time.
But at the time, nobody knew that at the time.
I don't
And
know,
Dracula
man.
is-
X-Men was already out, so like you knew Hugh Jackman had some acting chops. And
Oh, we
Kate
knew Kate
Beckinsale was
Beckinsale.
was in some stuff. Like she was just in Underworld.
Serendipity.
Like that Underworld
Yeah.
came out a year
The
before.
glorious. Yeah, everyone remembers her acting in Underworld. Definitely not the outfit.
How
I mean,
Was
dare
this
you?
before or after Underworld?
this was the
After.
year after. In fact, she almost didn't get cast in this movie because the producers were like, "This is kind of too close to her character in Underworld."
Yeah.
It sure is, except they said, "Can you do a very bad Transylvanian accent?" And she said, "Yes, I can."
That was the audition for everybody. How bad is your Transylvanian accent? You're in.
Yeah, there was a
Yeah.
British girl doing a bad Transylvanian
Her-
accent, and an
hers
Australian
in-
guy doing a bad British accent.
Hers in particular was
Wait,
killing me.
That was another thing. Hugh Jackman's accent was all over the place because at one point he was doing an American accent, which
Yeah.
like blew my mind. I was like,
Yeah,
"What is happening here?"
no continuity. Anyone want to correct you? at this
That
point?
was so bizarre. There's a lot of bizarre things in this movie
What's
that I cannot
what's
wait
the
to
monk's
talk
name? David Wenham.
best part of the movie, by the way.
Oh yeah, that sounds right.
He had a consistent.
like the sidekick. He was probably he was Faramir from
He's
Lord of the
Faramir, and
Rings.
he's also
Faramir,
he's also the guy in 300 that loses his eye.
yes,
Yeah,
Oh,
this has a great cast.
great cast. Yeah,
I mean, it's a Stephen Sommers movie, so it always has Kevin J. O'Connor in it. I love Kevin J. O'Connor.
I love
Who
him.
was he
And
in
I
this?
love he played Igor. I think
Igor.
right. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
Okay.
he's the most annoying character.
But Stephen Sommers, I actually like a lot of his movies. Like I like the first 2 Mummies movies. Like I think they're really fun. They're like what
The
an
Mummy and
action,
Deep Rising.
like what
first Mummy
action
is
horror
great.
movies should be. Yeah, they're. I even like the second one too. I think it's fun to watch.
It's all right.
And
the
Dracula
last
was.
one is terrible.
I don't like. any
I
of
didn't
the
watch
movies.
anything after 2. After 2, I stopped. I checked out.
Have you guys seen Deep Rising?
Yeah, Deep
Yeah.
Rising's great.
I
love
think
Deep Rising.
so.
Bad CG, but
Bad
fun-ass
CG.
movie.
I didn't like any of the Mummy movies, so I'm going
What?
into this movie. now.
The first one?
Dude,
Really?
they're so fun. Have you watched them lately? They hold up surprisingly
No.
well.
I didn't
Yeah.
like them when they came out.
Which
so.
is also what's mind blowing is because the CGI in the Mummy movies are 20 million times better than they are in this movie.
The
the
CGI
best
in this
CGI
movie
is the Scorpion
unforgivable.
King. The
No,
Scorpion
what are you
King
talking
still has
about?
the best.
Get
CGI.
outta here.
No. First of all, the first Mummy movie, when that came out, I'm not joking. We saw it in the theater at least 10 times.
I saw
in
it at
one
least
month.
3 times. Yeah.
We
I
kept
was,
going and going. We were like, "You bored? Let's go see the Mummy."
I think I was like
nonstop.
13 when that movie came out. I was like the best movie ever made at one point.
Oh,
Yeah, I just watched that a couple years ago for the show, and I still really love that movie.
It holds up well, like
I-
really well.
This movie is like
This movie does not hold up well.
And you've got Dracula, who's the guy from Moulin Rouge.
I didn't
Oh.
even know who he was. Like,
he was horrible.
his
Really?
acting was so bad.
overacting so
Let me,
much.
Let me explain a little bit of my going into this movie.
Oh, please do.
Hunter
Yeah.
knows this more. You guys probably know this a little bit about me, but Hunter knows it more. As you all know,
Everything about
I
Jack
grew up loving vampire movies. I read Dracula when I was in like 6th grade. The name Van Helsing in my life is I wanted to be Van Helsing. Like the guy who was the foil of Dracula, the expert. I had like a friggin' when the Frank Langella Dracula movie came out, there was a promo in the paper that had like the rules for killing vampires. I had that like taped to my wall. I love the character of Van Helsing.
How many kids did Jack kill mistaking them for vampires?
I had to experiment.
You were
When I
acting those
heard-
hot blonde lesbian vampires.
When I heard there was going to be a action adventure horror movie where Van Helsing was going to take on monsters, I was like, oh, and Hugh Jackman, I was like, wow,
Oh, I was a virgin.
can't possibly miss.
Man, did it miss?
And I'll tell you what, the number one reason why I wanted to like kill myself or everybody else after I saw this movie was because Dracula, the Brides, Frankenstein, almost everybody in this movie yells about everything.
Yeah. It's very over the top.
Oh my god.
So over the top.
The guy who played Dracula, though, as much as he was overacting, it never reached his eyes. You know when they say someone smiles, but the smile never reaches your eyes? His eyes were just dead this whole fucking movie.
You just
He
couldn't
knew
see
this
it 'cause-
movie was screwed.
I'm just gonna walk on walls and hang from the ceiling.
you couldn't see him because he was they were very happy with the look. We can make him walk up a wall.
Oh my
Oh,
lord!
it's so brutal.
Speaking of Van Helsing, all right, so you have like this character, Van Helsing. He's like not even in the movie
Van
like, that
Helsing?
much. Like
Who's
he's
that?
in the Van Helsing.
Helsing.
That's what I just said.
Helsing.
Helsing.
Helsing. You said
Helsing.
Helsing.
Whatever. It's a Jersey thing.
You just
probably.
named my fucking
It's a
realtor.
Jersey thing.
Put him on a
Dracula.
pork roll.
Dracula.
It's Van Helsing.
Dude, I could go for a pork roll right now.
I could go bacon, egg, and
Jesus Christ.
pork roll.
Pork roll. Nobody knows what pork roll is except for us.
Tailored ham.
But yeah, like I feel like he wasn't in the movie that much. Am I crazy for thinking that? Because like
He was
Dracula?
no,
No.
Van
He would just
Helsing.
pop in every now and then.
I feel like Dracula's in the movie more than Van Helsing.
Yeah, exactly. And
no.
and yes,
He's
I
in
feel
it
like-
a lot.
I
Dude.
feel like he has more
Well, he
screen
says
time,
more.
and I feel like Kate Beckinsale's character has more screen time than Hugh Jackman had on screen.
Thank Christ.
well,
She
yeah,
should
it
have
was
been
a
in every
smart move.
scene.
I too was really looking forward to this. Like my excitement level was insane. I was like, okay, you have the director of The Mummy and Deep Rising. I love those movies. Kate Beckinsale, yes.
Yeah.
You got Wolverine, hell yeah. Like let's go. And in the first scene, I remember where I was sitting because I was in college. We were in my living room watching it, and I was like, "Are you? Why is Mr. Hyde swinging around like a chimp in the attic
Yeah.
while delivering lines? Like, what?
Who my
then as
wife
soon as he
said, she
pulled
goes,
this-
doesn't he look just like Hellboy without the horns?
Dude,
I'm like, he does, actually.
Was this after League of Extraordinary Gentlemen?
It's right
Yes.
around the
So,
same
yeah.
time.
Because it was
Yes.
very reminiscent of that, Mr. Hyde.
Yes.
it is
The
10
CD on
times
him
better
is
than
terrible.
this.
Yeah.
This
League of
movie
Extraordinary
is,
Gentlemen killed Sean Connery's career.
yes, and I would still watch that more than this. I was blown away watching it again
Yeah.
because I hate this movie so much. I had forgotten everything. I forgot Kate Beckinsale was in it until I started watching.
Jeez, how could
I
you forget
didn't.
that.
I don't know how I forgot that, but it was every scene. I was like, "There's nothing good in this, like nothing." The scene where the brother is turning into the werewolf,
Yeah.
and he just climbs up the wall backwards like he's Spider-Man, and then hangs there and waits
Yes.
for the moon to hit him so he can transform. I'm like, why? Why is any of this in the movie?
Can we all agree on one thing?
To show off that quality CGI.
The werewolf transformations in American Werewolf in Paris were better than
Dude, you might be right.
Yeah, I mean, they tried to go with the gimmick of
Yeah.
the wolf pulls the skin off and the
Yeah.
guy pulls the hair off.
Yeah.
And that is a very dumb.
Yeah.
You got to
Not-
do
The
it
only
in a
good
really gory
transformations
way to
were
make that
Dracula's
work.
brides. Dracula's
Yeah.
brides, when they would go back and forth, that looked okay.
But
There, yeah,
their
It was
clothing,
cartoony no matter what.
their
the-
clothing
the-
turned into their vampire skin.
Well, the same thing with the werewolves.
course.
Their loincloths would reappear, and Dracula's
Like the
clothes.
Hulk. The Hulk, no matter how big he got, always still had his pants.
But the werewolves didn't have pants on. But then when they turned back, their pants came back.
Yeah.
So bad. But what's the deal with the tech Van Helsing has, by the way?
Well, it's
Fully
steampunk
automatic
Van Helsing.
crossbows and spinning
right.
blades.
Can we get to the crossbow real quick? Because I
Yeah,
can
please.
accept.
please.
I can accept the steampunk technology. Every movie likes to do that now. Like, hey, let's make it in the old days, but they have technology that's like now.
Yeah.
He's got a crossbow that shoots like a machine gun. Why is there a bow, like a string on it?
What has the appearance of a crossbow?
Good point.
Yeah.
I
For
didn't think of that.
it's for aesthetics.
Yeah, it's
And it
it's
shoots a
purely
lot of crossbows.
purely decorative.
Oh
And
my god!
He has,
I never thought of
he's-
that.
He's the worst shot with that damn thing. He's just randomly
I
just
know.
blasting away. I'm like, Jesus.
Apparently, they have unlimited silver arrows because they're just popping those suckers off like they're nothing.
Those villagers would have been running around grabbing those.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my god! There was a scene where it just perfectly described to me what's wrong with this movie, because there's no internal logic. So anyone can do anything. Anyone can jump 50 yards. It doesn't matter. And
Yeah.
everyone does the dumbest thing they can do at any point. So Kate Beckinsale I think she's grabbed by a vampire and she's dropped on a roof and she's just hanging on to the edge. She doesn't want to drop. So she flips off it and lands into a tree upside down on the trunk. And
Yeah.
why?
And just drops hitting branches.
Yeah, and then drops from there.
My wife was like,
why?
"Is she supernatural?" I'm like, "I don't think
No.
so."
No.
I also
Everything
want-
in this movie is a 10.
She
And when
has the
everything is a 10,
power of hotness.
I think that was just a choice that Stephen Summers made. I saw a quote where he was like, he's like, people say less is more, but that's bullshit. More is more, and that describes this movie perfectly. Because
Yes, it does.
There was like nothing that didn't go in this movie. It was just like
Yeah.
whatever.
This
Let's just
movie,
story. Never heard of it. Let's just make a visual feast for your eyes with all these crazy monsters, and let's just jam everything we can into like 2 hours and 11 minutes.
what's
Like
the thing?
that's exactly what it felt like.
It's the definition of biting off more than you can chew. There is so much shit in this movie, and it never stops.
No, it never.
From what I
lets
can
up.
tell, nobody sleeps, shits, or eats.
It's just
for
all
weeks.
action.
It's
Every scene is like
going.
fucking like just
I would do.
high octane balls to the wall action.
Oh,
I really wanted to consult with the vampires on their methodology, because a common mistake that they would make is banking too far. And so they would swoop down, inflict some damage, put somebody in a vulnerable state, and then they would fly like a mile in the air
Yeah.
and
Right.
turn and slowly come back and then scream at the person to make sure that they knew where they were. And the person had plenty of time to get up, reload, get out of the harm's way or whatever. And Dracula did it a bunch of times too. I don't think, does anybody just stop and take the shot when they have the chance? No, not in this.
No.
Kate Beckinsale did bring it up later. Remember
That's
when
true.
Anna killed the vampire? She goes, "If you're gonna do it, just do it. Don't talk."
You're right.
Yeah, which I thought was like a terrible line, by the way.
Oh,
Like,
of course.
Said in a terrible accent.
oh my god.
I love that apparently Dracula has his sperm count's insane because he is knocking up these chicks like crazy, and they're laying egg sacs that are 3 times the size of their bodies.
Are
And that
those
was
eggs
one
coming
bride.
out of their vaginas?
And that was one bride.
Where are they coming from?
That first
Oh,
night
right,
was,
that was one bride.
bride.
That's right.
So
I mean,
Also, doesn't make sense. You're taxing your food source. You're
Why
gonna
wasn't
be
there a visual of
starving
that
at one
in the
day.
movie? how that
Thank
happened.
you. I would have liked to see that.
And which bride was it? I think it was the long-haired one because she got the most upset when they were popping like zits.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, the
he
brunette?
must be just banging her like 3,000 times a day. They were at the end.
He's
It's like Van Helsing's crossbow.
shooting Dracula seed constantly.
Oh,
Now,
Can
know
I say
that-
one thing that I liked
Yeah.
in this movie? I liked the design of Frankenstein, who looked like Peter Boyle in Young Frankenstein.
Oh, and he sounded like him.
Yeah,
Put
but I
on the
liked
Ritz.
Put on the Ritz. I liked the design. I liked like the weird shit in his skull and everything.
I like the head design.
Yeah.
I thought that looked really cool. I liked everything about Frankenstein. I liked, and I'm like, can we just get a Frankenstein movie with,
Yeah.
with this guy?
That guy screamed though every other line.
Yeah.
He is
There's
Frankenstein.
another one.
I actually
talked well, though.
liked like the visuals, like the way, like the lighting and like some of the stuff they did. Like there was 2 scenes I actually liked the way it looked, even though CGI I
Let's
think
see if it's
ruined
one
it.
of mine. Let's
Like
see.
the opening scene with the black and white with like the townspeople, I kind of like that as a setup. Like I
that was
thought
James Whale.
I thought that was cool, and then from there on, it's just a train wreck. But like that opening scene was I thought was really cool.
Yeah.
And then there's a scene where like all the vampire brides are like flying through the city and just like scooping up townspeople. I thought that scene like visually looked kind of cool. So like I like a lot of the concepts of this movie. It's just there's absolutely no story. There is a story, but it just makes absolutely no sense, and there's just plots that just fall off and never get
Can we
resolved.
talk about the story real quick?
What story?
Yeah, because I don't. So I'm trying to figure this out. So Gabriel Van Helsing, Abraham Van Helsing is the classic name for him, but he's Gabriel.
I'll go with Gabriel. Yeah.
He's got no memory, kind of like Logan of Wolverine fame.
Yeah.
He's been
Weapon
around
X.
for a long time.
He's Weapon X of the church.
Yes, of the church.
He gets sent to Transylvania, where a family that is pledged to kill Dracula, or they go to purgatory or something,
Right.
needs help killing Dracula, or they're going to go to purgatory. Then there's a magic painting that David Wenham sees that shows like mechanical Dracula and a werewolf fight.
Yeah.
And then I think we find out that Van Helsing is really the angel Gabriel, but he has amnesia. He killed Dracula, but then Dracula became a vampire because he made a pact with the devil.
Yeah.
I can't remember why Gabriel lost his memory.
And nobody says. And how can Gabriel be killed or turned into a werewolf?
He's the left hand of God.
Yeah.
I don't understand why you guys are confused.
I'm just waiting. So I had this right.
Yeah.
And then he conveniently gets bit by a werewolf because the only way to kill Dracula is a werewolf, even though Dracula controls werewolves.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I loved that the whole movie is a build-up to Van Helsing versus Dracula, and instead we get 2 CG characters fighting
in the dark. Like, whatever. Before that happened, though, I love the ballroom scene. You talk like something that looked good. It looked like there were a lot of people in that ballroom.
Why is that in the movie?
So Kate Beckinsale going to be putting that beautiful red dress.
That must be the only reason. The trapeze bullshit going on. What is this scene?
I don't know, but she had a change of wardrobe. First of all, Kate Beckinsale wins for most uncomfortable wardrobes in movie history.
Yeah.
But if she so much as had to fart, her clothes would have blown right off of her. So I don't know how she managed it.
Character intro was a dolly in on her ass, and then she spun around with a sword. That was her intro.
I know. I love getting the flu. It's my ritual. When I get the flu, I watch Underworld movies nonstop. And I'm not a fan of any of them, but she makes me feel better. She cures the flu. She might cure COVID. I think we need to investigate this. Let's get Dr. Fauci and Kate Beckinsale together and can find a cure.
I volunteer.
Yeah, I'll
vaccine.
take it. Help me.
Oh shit.
You know, it was interesting that I didn't even remember she was in the movie, let alone that I'm just going to spoil it. So shut up.
Nobody.
But when
cares.
she dies at the end, I was like, oh,
Ring
this
the bell.
this should be a moment that I would remember or care about. And I'm just like, okay.
Yeah.
Well, you don't care because
just
no
forgot about it.
character is ever developed in this movie. None.
No, yeah.
None. Her
You have a-
brother is supposed to be this major plot point. He's in it for 5 seconds, turns into a werewolf, and then you see him like maybe 10 more seconds, and then his death is supposed to be this emotional scene.
It looks like Wile E. Coyote flying into the water both times.
Yes.
Times.
I waited for him to like be running and then stop in midair and then look and then fall.
And hold up a sign and go, yikes.
And a little puff of smoke.
Was this movie like 90s coked up Stephen King where no editor could tell Stephen King no? Did this dude do The Mummy 1 and 2 and they were just like, here's $200 million?
I feel like that could be the case. Like I would like to go back and see like what the script notes were like from the producers.
God.
Like did they get it? Did he get any?
So I watched
also-
and I watched some of the end credits. He wrote, directed, and produced it. So
Yeah, but he had to get finance from somewhere, and
This
then they had
was
to
also
release it. Like,
Universal has always been dying to reboot the
yes,
Universal monster. So-
they're still trying to do it. They just
right. So this was
can't.
their first swing.
By the way,
Yeah,
if
no-
you're gonna do like Universal movies, guess what? Write a story that can be told in 70 minutes. Make a classic in 70, not 130. By the way, this movie, they spent 160 million. It made 300 million.
Wow.
Yeah, but it only made like 50 million the first weekend or something. It's something really low, which is why they put like the stop on everything. Like because this was supposed to be like a huge like tentpole like franchise, and
Yeah.
there was a TV deal in place too with Hugh Jackman. They were going to do a TV show, and it all fell apart just because it bombed opening weekend. Even though it still went on to be a profitable movie, it's like weird. The studios like they only look at like the opening weekend as like.
well, I don't. You have to
It's
double the
short-sighted.
budget to get the advertising budget typically.
True.
So this might not have
Yeah,
actually
true.
made money.
Yeah, I mean this was all over the place too, like marketing wise.
Yeah.
Like you couldn't go anywhere without seeing like fucking
Yeah,
Van
they might have
Helsing.
spent another
Yeah.
150, 200 million just getting Happy Meals boxes and shit.
But
Yeah,
I didn't see it in the theater because I was all fired up for it. And then the word got out so quickly that it was
That was
terrible
bad.
that I
Yeah.
just waited for video.
I remember I was working at Toys R Us at the time, and we had like the Van Helsing action figures.
Helsing.
And
You're gonna say it
nobody-
right.
I'm not gonna say it right. I'm
Jason,
gonna
say
it the way I want.
werewolf.
Werewolf.
All right.
And these
Do
action
everything wrong.
figures never sold, like ever. We had
Who
them
made
like
them? Was it Todd McFarlane? Did he make them?
no, it was probably like Hasbro or like
Mattel.
Mattel. Yeah, one of those.
Mego.
They looked awful, but like even like shitty movies still sold action figures for some reason. But like this didn't, and they were like I don't even think we gave them away.
If there's a really good looking Kate Beckinsale action figure, I will buy it.
I know you
the,
will.
The Josie Moran.
Josie Moran. Very although I like the last one.
Yeah.
She
I
was
just
a
don't
good-
understand why a movie that's about Gabriel, who's Van Helsing, hunting Mr. Hyde, who then finds out through his James Bond layer of people
Yeah.
that he
Yes.
needs to go fight Count Dracula, who he's killed in a previous life, who's trying to use Frankenstein's monster to supercharge his megasperm to make vampires to kill the world
It's outrageous.
while fighting this family who's going to go to hell or purgatory. Or I don't understand why this wasn't successful.
The lesson
yeah.
here is foresight. Don't kill the mad scientist who's going to get you what you want.
All right.
If you didn't kill him, he'd be fine.
As horror fans, did any of you notice that the offspring of Dracula looked a lot like Uncle Impy from the Slimeball Bolorama.
Oh, they look like Uncle Impy, or I thought like ghoulies with wings.
Yeah,
like
ghoulies.
munchies. Like they
I
look
just thought, like,
terrible.
wow, there's a bunch of Uncle Impies flying all over the place. I wish they talked like him.
Yeah, it was just
Putting no horror in this was a bad call too.
And he said he didn't want to make a horror movie. He wanted to make an action adventure.
he made an action movie for sure.
How'd you like David Wenham in the jester outfit?
That was funny.
In the jester outfit?
Yeah, when they were going through the mirror for the ball.
For the ball, he was wearing the court jester outfit. Like that was a hard
Like, that's
attempt
what we
at
have to
comedy
look forward
relief.
to. It was. By the way, watching this now, I said if I was 10, I would freaking love this movie.
I know that's the thing too. Like I saw this when I was what? I was like 19. So like I was way past. But yeah, if I had seen this when I was like 8 years old, 9 years old, this would have been like my mind would have been blown. I would have loved it.
I think if they made this a cartoon series, it would have been the most successful cartoon series of all time.
Could be.
Catching kids at a certain age and the fun of it and just the craziness of it. But it's like, this is stuff that looks better on paper than on film.
Oh, wait, what about the Oompa Loompas?
Oh, the little
yeah,
Jawas that help out Dracula.
Did they ever explain that?
I looked up the name of them. They're
What are
called
oh God.
Dwergy. DWERGI.
Dwergies?
Dwergy?
Get over here, little dwergy.
They're little dwarf slaves of Dracula.
That's racist. I don't like that at all.
When Hugh Jackman sees one randomly and smashes its face off a wall and then throws it out the window, I'm like, what was that thing going to do to you?
So violent.
He just obliterated that thing.
Oh, and then also when you're talking about people getting hurt and doing stunt, how many people swung again like a mile on a rope or a cord or whatever, and then flipped and landed no problem, or were falling off something and then just reached out and grabbed a vine or whatever?
There's always something to grab. I loved when Frankenstein just happened in that whole giant complex land right where Anna is fighting the vampire bride. I'm like, oh, that's pretty convenient.
When he's swinging around between the castle parts, like over the bridge, that is so brutal to watch. Like I do not understand how that made the final cut.
Look at everything else.
Yeah.
They have like Dracula's sacks bursting out with munchies with wings. Who the fuck cares anymore?
All bets are off.
Yeah.
Do you want to know what the Rotten Tomatoes audience score of this is?
Yes.
I bet it's high.
I'm gonna guess 20.
Okay. What do you guess, Jason?
I'm gonna go in the 60s.
35.
57.
57?
Yeah. And fucking the Tim Burton Planet of the Apes, which is not a great movie by any stretch, but it's significantly better than this.
Way better than this.
I don't think so.
I don't know about that.
27%.
I would watch this over.
I think I would watch this.
Tim Burton
over
even said Tim Burton said he intentionally fucked that movie up because he didn't want to do it.
Maybe I'm not remembering it correctly, but I don't
a
remember
human
hating it.
crashes two spaceships, but a chimp can land a ship with no problem. Come on.
Listen, I just said it's not a good movie, but I would rather watch that movie than this movie. I also haven't seen it since like 2004.
Yeah, because
there's
a great Planet of the Apes movie with Nova, by the way, and there's just one terrible Van Helsing. So no, I'd rather watch Van Helsing.
I think the problem with this movie too, at least with our demographic, is everyone wanted to see this and was so excited.
Yeah.
And the disappointment was just unbelievable.
Yeah, if you're not old enough to remember, we were all like humming to see this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wolverine is fighting vampires and Frankenstein. Oh my God.
Yeah.
pile of shit. Oh,
By the
So
way,
bad.
I wrote Forest of Shadows, Evil Eternal, Sinister Entity, and Swamp Monster Massacre to the soundtrack of this movie.
Oh yeah,
Oh, really?
So I know every note of this soundtrack.
that's weird.
Yeah. I
oh.
love the soundtrack. I do not like the movie.
I just remembered a scene that I was describing it earlier where Mr. Hyde is swinging around like a chimp for whatever reason. When he throws Hugh Jackman off the building and then he Batmans a grappling hook back up through
Oh,
Mr.
yeah.
Hyde, and then they just start swinging on this rope for I'm like, what the hell is this movie?
It
That's
was
the
a
first 5
preview of
minutes.
what's to come.
Yeah. That was really all I remembered from when I started watching it again. I was like, oh yeah.
Do you
This is
remember?
why I hate this.
Did you like the feel good Kate Beckinsale in the sky at the end of the
I
movie?
That was needed. That was
To me,
needed,
that's
yeah.
heaven. If I can hang out with her for eternity, that's heaven. So I agree.
Oh.
Can we all agree Kate Beckinsale's one of the top 5 best looking women to ever be in movies?
She's pretty attractive.
I wouldn't
Even
if I
to this
said that.
day, she's like 50 years old and she looks like she's 20.
Yeah. Even that
Yeah.
Total Recall remake, which was ass. I mean, you
Hmm.
could just watch her in it. You're like, okay.
Dude, what's that Adam Sandler movie she played his wife? Click, was it or something?
I hated that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've watched it several times just because she's in it.
I
I'm not
hated that
ashamed
movie
to admit it.
describes all of Adam Sandler's movies since 2000.
I'm married to somebody who was a big Adam Sandler fan, so we used to have to see every one of these movies when they came out. I was like, that's my concession. That's how much I love you, baby. Let's go see another one.
Are you guys a fan of the CG where the vampire faces get really long?
Oh, God.
I
Show it a
never
couple more
liked that.
times.
I don't understand how the CG with $160 million budget, how the CG was so bad.
It's got to be because every scene has 50 CG points.
I
to it.
Yeah, there was
guess,
so
but
much.
It's just got to be it.
That's the
It's so
problem. Like the
crazy.
CG in Jurassic Park, that was
I was
over
literally
10 years
just gonna say
earlier.
that. I was
and
just
looked
gonna say,
perfect.
how is the CGI in the first Jurassic Park movie better than like 99.9% of the movies?
I
that
think
come
because
out
there's not a lot of
today?
CG in Jurassic Park. It's
Well-
only a couple scenes.
I
I
don't.
look
I
at it
don't
this
buy
way.
into that though. Like it's like perfect. Like I can't tell the difference.
When was
By the way-
Independence Day? That was pretty good CG.
Yeah,
But if you go back to space movies, how is 2001: A Space Odyssey look better than maybe everything
Yeah.
that's come after it? And that's
true,
over 50
too.
years old.
it's
Yeah,
just weird. I don't know.
But even the Mummy didn't have a shitload of CG like this did. You know, it's pretty much only when the Mummy shows up is there CG.
I don't know, dude. Like there's
Wait,
like
No, there's
Tom
a lot
Cruise's
of
Mummy?
CG then.
Or
No,
I
the
mean,
Brendan Fraser. There's tons of those bugs all over the place.
there's
and the
bugs.
Scarab.
yeah, but it wasn't
Sandstorm,
every
the dust
shot.
storm in the face, like that.
Yeah.
that was-
yes.
But like
all right,
all
good,
this
though. It
stuff,
looks good.
all this stuff with what's her name? The actress from that.
Rachel Weisz.
Rachel Weisz.
Rachel Weisz. Her and Brendan Fraser and
Oh, it
there's
actually had a
stuff on the
story.
boat. Yeah,
That's
there's
it.
whole
Story,
sections
character
without
development.
CG. It's
Yeah.
just when they do it, it's really good. This is like every
Is there
shot
anything?
has some CG in it. It's insane.
By the way, I want
Wow.
Transylvanian horses that can fucking fly. like a
Yes, I wanted to
chasm.
get to that. That was the best. I just watched Smokey and the Bandit, and there's a lot of like Bandit makes it over the bridge and the cops don't. And then I watched that and I'm like, oh wow, Van Helsing was doing this way before Burt Reynolds.
We needed fucking Dom DeLuise to come out. It's Captain
Yeah.
Chaos.
Michael
Ta-da!
Clark makes a good point. When you're using ILM, shit looks good too.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
but I'm glad you
Oh.
brought up the Mummy. I'm talking Tom Cruise as the Mummy. So if you're going to watch a reimagining of Universal monsters, are you going to watch the Mummy or Van Helsing?
Van Helsing every day of the week.
I'm thinking Van Helsing too.
I'd watch the Mummy, I think.
Of the
But I've also only seen
the
that
new
once.
Mummy?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I only watched like the first 20 minutes and then I stopped, so I can't really tell.
It's
It
shorter
doesn't
than
have-
Van Helsing.
it doesn't have the
yeah.
I think
schlock appeal that at least this has.
I
some
think
entertainment
I
value
think
to it.
I think I would take a chance on the new Mummy movie than I would.
It's horrible.
I'm never, ever watching this movie again.
I would.
Yeah.
I will dare you watch Tom Cruise's The Mummy this week, and then tell me next week which you prefer.
Why would I do that? That's called 300. That's episode.
Is that episode 300? The Mummy? There we go.
I might do that. I might. I'll probably fall asleep. I don't have time to watch movies. I've watched 5 movies in the last fucking 3 months, and this was one of them. God damn
This
it!
blows my mind
You're
because
welcome.
you would watch 5 movies before noon before this.
I know.
By the way, I watched this on Peacock. Did you have
Me
to pay
too.
to watch this? Or
No, I watched it on
Yeah, I
Peacock.
watched it on Peacock.
Amazon.
I paid for it.
You
You
Yeah, I don't
paid
have,
for
I don't
this.
have Peacock.
You could have signed up for a free Peacock trial, and oh my
just
God.
the $5 to rent it would have paid for the month of.
God,
Get Peacock. You got the
You know what?
offer.
I'm actually glad you paid for it. You deserve it.
Well, now I'm going to get the Steelbook because I got to Tim Meyer the shit out of this.
By the way, you say that Tina Edwards does have the steelbook to this.
No,
Yes, she posted that earlier on
Did she?
Instagram. Yes.
What?
It's part of a collection.
There's a Steelbook of this movie?
Yeah,
There
really?
is, and she has it.
listen, they had to get their 160 million back, so they had to make a steelbook.
By the way, would you like to see a live action version of the monster serials with this Dracula and this Frankenstein as Count Chocula and Frankenberry?
Yes,
Yes.
obviously.
That would be so much better.
I'd watch that more than Ben Stiller doing The Shining.
The guy who played Dracula in this would actually make a great Count Chocula.
This can
I
we
would
say
see
he's
that.
maybe the worst person to ever play Dracula ever?
Gotta be, has to be.
He's up there.
This is bad.
It's
This is bad.
Who's the best though?
I don't know that you can
Listen,
even quantify that.
I listen.
I would
I'm
say
gonna,
Willem Dafoe in Shadow of the Vampire.
I'm gonna
not
go.
Dracula.
I'm gonna go Gary Oldman just because Gary Oldman.
Gary
Oldman's
Oldman's
great.
pretty good.
I do.
I'm
Max
gonna go Gary
Schreck.
Oldman.
I'm going Max Schreck, Nosferatu. Nobody was better than him. I don't think they did much makeup with him either.
Lugosi and Christopher Lee are better. Than all of
Lugosi
those
is
guys.
terrible.
That set the standard. They're
By
all
the way, Jack,
idiots.
you and I should sit down and watch the Spanish Dracula that was made the same time they were.
I would
making
love
the
to do that.
American. That would be a good thing for us. To
That would
do.
be interesting to watch.
See,
We don't have to watch it up here. We can watch it downstairs
I'm in.
on the good TV.
I'm in.
I'm partial
Alright.
to Gary Oldman though, so I'm always gonna. Say
That's because you're amateur.
You know, that Gary Oldman scene where he's human and stabs the cross and is freaking out. I mean,
That's the worst part of that movie.
What?
Wow.
I hate
Not
that. I
anytime
hate that.
Keanu Reeves spoke.
Oh god, that whole
anytime
thing.
Keanu Reeves spoke, that was bad.
Mm.
I hate.
I
that
love
scene
that
so
movie.
much.
I love that movie so much.
I love that movie too.
Yeah,
It's
garbage.
so strange.
You don't like it?
No.
What?
Well, Jack, we
No.
like the,
Crazy?
what's the
There
guy?
No,
aren't
I'm a
any
Dracula
lesbian
fan.
Blonde.
Who did
I like
Dracula in the
moments in it.
70s?
Vampires.
Like Christopher Lee's the best Dracula ever.
Come on, Anthony Hopkins.
No, Christopher
That's
Lee's the
ins-
best.
Christopher Lee is the scariest.
Yeah, like that guy.
Who
would
played
make me
him
piss my
in
pants.
Dracula 2000?
Oh, the guy from 300.
Cedric the Entertainer.
Blade 3. Blade 3 when he's
Oh,
wearing
Jesus.
the chainmail and they call him
Oh,
Drake.
that might be the
From
worst.
Prison
That
Break.
might be the worst Dracula ever. That
There's the
might-
Andy Warhol's Dracula when
call.
Udo plays him.
Oh, Udo Kier. Yeah, he's scary. Just
That's
as
a
Udo.
freako Dracula.
Leslie Nielsen did a great one.
I just
I
watched that a couple of
prefer
weeks
Leslie
ago.
Nielsen.
He's the best Dracula as a bat.
He's the only Dracula who had a fart machine in his pocket.
Oh God. I think it's time.
But
I
by the
Googled
way,
who the worst Dracula was, and the first one that comes up is Blade Trinity. So
What a shock.
This
Yeah.
guy gives him a run for
this
his money.
guy's—he's right there, right there.
Because this is the
In fact, I'll
this
fight
guy.
him too.
I get like physically pissed off whenever that guy's on screen and he's
Jack
like
will
walking
fight him.
sideways up a wall. I mean, he drove me up a wall.
So Jack,
I feel like that's.
while I'm beating the shit out of Danzig, I
Yeah.
want you to throw some haymakers on this guy.
I feel like that was the direction though of the movie. Like I feel like everyone was just like go big,
Yeah,
overact
for
everything
sure.
because everybody overacted in this movie. It wasn't just
in a
Yes.
movie of god awful ridiculous acting, that guy stood out, which is
he
impressive.
did.
Yeah. By the way, so
I-
silly. My ex-wife plays the real-life version of an emotional, life-sucking Dracula. This coming from the guy when we worked together would always walk into the bathroom, not always, but occasionally into the men's room and go, "Hey, is this where all the dicks hang out?" Making everybody
Wow.
instantly uncomfortable.
I think Gerard Butler is Dracula 2000.
Gerard
Really?
Butler?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think. Are
I
you
don't think
sure?
I've ever seen that movie, to be honest.
Jeez.
Oh,
think
Dracula.
I-
we should do that for some week.
Is it
Best
that bad? I've always
best
heard.
soundtrack ever, though.
That's
Was it like 90s techno or something?
No, it
that's
was like
such a
all like
90s movie.
it was all like late 90s new metal, like System of a Down.
Oh,
In a
nice.
Dracula movie.
Like Static X. Like
that makes
just
sense.
like
All right. I mean, you're selling me there.
Jerry
Dude,
Ryan's one
I
of the
had-
brides.
it has the like Marilyn Manson was on it, just like all late 90s awesome
Good
new
music
metal.
to cover a bad movie.
If you've
Yeah.
never seen Dracula 2000, we should
I've
definitely
never
watch
seen
that
it.
sometime.
Dude, you should. It's not a great movie at all, but you should listen to the soundtrack.
And then there's Dracula 3000 that's got Casper Van Dien and
Nobody's watching that. Nobody's
what's his
watching.
name?
Oh, even Casper's mother. is
Coolio.
about that.
Coolio's in that one.
Coolio.
What's the one with Rutger Hauer? I think Dario Argento did it.
Oh, Dracula
God, that's
3D?
Argento's Dracula.
I've never seen the whole movie. I've only seen
That movie's
like, a couple
god-awful.
scenes.
Oh,
I've heard that one's brutal.
as a father of daughters, never would that movie occur to me.
I think that's the only part I've seen when she's naked. I was like,
God,
did her dad
almighty.
direct this?
Yeah.
Weird.
I looked at my wife, who is fully Italian. I'm like, is this acceptable? She's like, no, it's not. It's not an Italian thing. He's crazy.
And then you got to see Louis Jourdan as Dracula in the BBC one from '77. That's awesome.
What
And
was
then
that
watching
new
the Swamp Thing?
What was that new BBC one that they did? I watched I think it was
Oh.
like a 3-parter.
Yeah, no,
I
that's
kind
a
of
lot.
liked it.
Did you see the third part?
I think I watched the first 2 parts and then I
That's why you're-
forgot about it.
That's why you like it.
Why was the
Yeah.
third part off the
Third part
wall?
is third part.
I
That's
thought the
why
guy who
didn't
played
bother.
Dracula did a decent job.
He did a decent job. I was loving it, and then the third part happened. I was like, "Son of a bitch!"
I thought the narrative was a little weird, like with the nuns and
I was
But-
okay with the narrative.
We're not okay with the narrative of Van Helsing. If there is a narrative.
there's no narrative. It's just like let's just see what we can do with $160 million and see what happens. That's what I got.
As I was watching this movie, I was thinking, like, my book Evil Eternal is kind of like this. I'm like, I hope nobody ever makes this a movie. 'Cause I'd just be so embarrassed. Better on paper. Don't put it on film.
I watched it on Sunday
Shoshana.
morning. See ya.
Bye, Shoshana.
I'm watching this on Sunday morning, and I'm thinking to myself, "What am I doing?"
What have I done with my life?
What
I-
depths
I-
have I sunk to?
As best I could tell, the whole story hinged on them getting Frankenstein to put in the machine to then send energy waves down. But when they didn't have him, they're like, just put the werewolf in. It'll be fine.
Yeah,
Like, I thought that was the whole plot.
Pick anyone. Do we have a mummy laying around here? What about the
Uh,
Invisible Man?
That's fine.
Yeah, it's terrible. But I
So
still
bad.
say it would make a great cartoon. If you CGI'd all the people out and
well,
made it a
they modeled him
CGI
after
cartoon.
Vampire Hunter D.
Yeah, which was a good cartoon.
Did they?
Yeah,
This
Never-
this honestly could have made for like a pretty cool TV show, like Villain of the Week, like television show with different monsters and
Yeah.
him hunting people down and
Yeah.
having like that's what it should have been. It should not have been like let stuff like every single classic horror movie monster into 2 hours and fucking
Way
just-
too long.
just see what
worst.
happens. Yeah,
I think it's still
The
on
worst.
downstairs. I don't think it ever ended. And the ending just sucks. Nobody says anything. Look up at the
No.
sky, fucking drive
Wh-
away. Like
When the
what?
credits rolled, I wondered, is there a post-credit scene? And I thought, I don't care. And I just stopped.
although isn't Frankenstein's fate in this similar to the book? He floats off in the distance.
Yeah, it's similar. By the way, post credit scenes, if you see Ty West's X, stay for the end. I
wanna
never
see
do
that
this,
so
but
badly.
Tim,
I want to see that.
fucking amazing.
But I got to see Batman in the theaters, and that was probably the one time I'll get to go to the theaters at all this year. So
That's so depressing.
You
I know.
don't
we
need
need
to
to save.
I know.
You don't need
Send
to
help.
stay for the Batman post credit scene.
No, that was a waste. That was a waste. And
I
those
think
were
we need to
long-ass
make a
credits,
trek
too.
to help Tim. I think
Save
we
me.
all need to converge in Jersey.
Send help.
Did you like Batman?
I did. I loved it. I loved it.
Good stuff.
I thought it was like the best representation of Batman on film. But I still think I haven't like fully decided yet. I think I gotta watch it again, but I still think I like the Nolan films better, or at least two of the Nolan films better than this one.
Yeah, I agree. Same thing. This is the most like a comic book.
Yeah. It was like the detective aspect that they always tend to like leave out of the movies.
And there was no vampire brides.
No vampire brides,
Damn
no overacting.
No
Really,
Uncle
I
MP.
thought
Really
What's the
sucked,
point?
actually.
What is the point?
No crossbow, automatic crossbow.
no auto.
Actually, there was more Van Helsing gadgets in this Batman than a lot of other movies you might see.
So they have automatic spinning blades that can cut off arms in a
Those
split
things are
second.
awesome. Well, cut off arms with no bleeding because they were cauterizing the wound.
Cauterized, yeah.
He stopped using them pretty early in the movie too.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
it seems effective. I shouldn't have those.
Oh, let's get the hell out of here. I have to piss.
Yeah, I got
Yeah,
to pee so badly.
Dude, I am swimming in urine right now.
That's just
My
gross.
kidneys are up near my lungs. All right. Well, this movie was terrible, as we
Yep.
knew it would be, but it sparked a
watch it.
lively. I don't know if it's a debate or just shoveling shit.
I think
on
this
a
is like
corpse.
the first time we've ever agreed like on everything.
Yeah, I get it.
True.
Yeah, I was hoping, Tim, that you would
Universal.
like pull a 180 and love it. but-
Nope. I hated this movie when I first saw it, and it's still probably the worst movie I've ever seen. So
I wouldn't say it's the worst movie I've ever seen.
Oh, Tim. Oh,
Maybe the worst movie I saw in 2004, but overall, no.
it's pretty bad.
Watch After Last Season on YouTube. Change
Watch-
your life.
Listen, I'm
watch
sure there's worse movies
Winchester.
out there, but like I really did not enjoy this.
No, we didn't. This was a hate watch for all of
Did you
us.
just say Winchester?
Yeah, you got Winchester right there, right?
Son of a bitch.
Still,
There you go. You go.
Why is
you
that-
go to Jason's house?
Why is that movie so close to you? Like, why is it within reaching range? That's weird.
I have like 200 movies within reaching distance.
Yeah, but he can't find "Let My Puppets Come."
I
Yeah,
found
but-
it.
whatever.
I did find it.
But that
you
one
did? All right.
seemed like it was on top, which is
Well, of
a weird
course, it's the
choice.
best.
I feel
Yeah.
like Jason, when you're ready to watch "Let My Puppets Come," you tell me, and I will drive down to you for that.
I'll
That'll
save
be
it
worth
for
the
you.
trip.
Sorry, you
Alright.
say puppets come?
"Let My Puppets Come." It's a puppet porno musical.
I mean,
It's
it sounds amazing.
It is.
God,
Episode
So-
300.
We don't know what's happening in episode 251. Who knows?
We'll figure it out.
But thank you for joining us in this journey of stupidity.
Good to see you, Tim.
to 250.
Yeah, to 250. Tim, this was amazing.
Same.
And there you go. This blue moon is crushed.
We'll see you in 6 months.
We'll see you next year for 300.
Thank God.
All right. Everybody, thank you. And please, spread the word, proselytize about the Final Guys if you can. And until next week, don't watch Van Helsing if you didn't watch it already.
Don't do that.
Bye.
See ya.
Love your.
Game over, man.